Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of How Did This Get Booked? I, of course, am your host, Jake Manning, and I'm a veteran of the professional wrestling business for over a decade. I've held every single job except selling popcorn. Did I say that right? I feel like that was very sanitized.
No, that's fine.
That was fine?
You're running on, this is our third podcast in as many hours.
Yeah, and we're going to do another one after this, so this is 4. So, but anyways, that wonderful, jovial voice jovial is coming from a trader.
A man that has traveled to the future, learned the knowledge, and has now come back.
Exactly. Yeah, because we were recording this podcast after the podcast that's coming out next. So there might be some jokes that you might not understand until 2 weeks from now.
And then halfway through, we'll realize and go, oh, fuck, you won't really get that until you hear the next one.
It was Kevin Spacey the whole time.
It was... Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I don't think we can we can use our knowledge of the past to know we can't reference him now.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we can use our powers for good?
Yes.
I was going to use it for bad. I was going to be Biff in Back to the Future, too. Okay.
You have the sports almanac and you're ready to go.
Anyways.
Hi, I'm Zane Riley again.
Zane Riley. My Biff.
Oh, man. Really? I know I want your Doc Brown, but I could at least be...
Well, I would be Needles because that would make me flee.
There we go. I'll take it.
I'll take that.
I'm back in. I don't want to get shit poured on us from a dump truck, though.
Okay. It happens every movie.
Yeah, it does.
Happens every movie. But we can't dilly-dally around with introductions like we do 2 weeks from now because we have a guest with us today, a woman whose name I messed up the last time she appeared on the program, and I'm going to get it right today because I've said it at so many open mics. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome comedian Lauren Ansley.
That was right.
Yeah. There we go. I do things. I do things and I can get things right. Lauren, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Dynamite small talk. Dynamite.
Glad that correspondence class is paying off, you guys.
You may be my Biff to my Needles, but this is my Kathy Lee to my Regis. Okay?
It's in your guys' coffee cups.
I need more money.
Yeah. Oh, wait, there's fucking money? I'm out.
I never got paid for last time either.
Checks in the mail.
Yep, checks in the mail. It's okay.
All right.
Why don't you go check on your husband, Frank?
Yeah. You got any good proms lately? We were paying you in Bitcoin.
But right before we get into the topic of discussion, Lauren, kind of what we've been doing is I've been making it a priority to thank the people that leave a review on this podcast. And then you can leave a review too, because if you want to leave a review, you get mailed a free T-shirt. Yes, if you want a free How Did This Get Booked t-shirt. You as a guest, you don't even get a t-shirt.
Nope.
But everybody that leaves a review on iTunes or Stitcher and you DM me your address and t-shirt size, you get a free t-shirt and you get a shout out on this podcast right here at the top of the program, even though I don't do that 2 weeks from now.
No, because he forgets to look it up.
I forgot to look it up, but the names have not changed because obviously next week's program is already in the can. So basically, I just want to thank from our Stitcher review, still the top of the poll is Sponge Cake 7. Thank you very much, Sponge Cake, for your review.
That makes a lot more sense now. Earlier, you were just reading words, like Nate, like you said that, and I was, what the fuck is he talking about?
I was looking at the computer.
I didn't know because I wasn't looking. I was setting my shit up.
I was okay
for my Trader podcast.
Sponge Cake 7.
All right. I was like, man, that's a really weird password to have. Coming from you.
You put some goddamn respect on his name.
There's respect on that password.
Because he has been at the top of the poll for Stitcher for quite some time now.
No one has Stitcher.
And I believe I definitely sent him out a t-shirt. Would you just talk shit about Stitcher?
I'm on it. Don't
I was going to say, I was like, I'm sorry, not all of us can be on fucking Spotify, which hopefully in the future this podcast will be. All right? Until Spotify allows Squarespace to have a direct channel to it, we're stuck on Stitchers and all the other
Sons
platforms.
of bitches.
I think we're on Cashbox.
Huh?
Castbox?
What is that?
Castbox.
I have Castbox.
Okay, so that's...
What for? What do you do?
It's it's an app. Don't calm down, Zane. It's an app to listen to podcasts because I don't have an iPhone.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I have Podcast Addict. That's what I like to use that. That's fun.
What the fuck is that?
So it's like it does. So it's like me, whereas I let everyone do all the good hard work, and then I just reap up all the small benefits. So basically, when you search for a podcast, it searches everyone else's search engines for it. So like everything you have on iTunes, it specifically does an iTunes search for a podcast. Yeah. But it's on the Android.
Yeah, but this podcast and 10 Bell Pod are both on Castbox. But also, too, on iTunes, our reviewer, OG Rosen Orgy is now at the top of the poll right now on iTunes. I'm not sure if I've already sent a t-shirt out to you. I may have or may not. It's been coming in a little bit slow. It's been a while since I've sent out a free t-shirt. So guys, make sure you leave a review. DM me your address and your t-shirt size, and I will get you out a t-shirt immediately. Or else we've just got 24 reviews, and that's all we're going to have because those are all the people that are listening. So I'd like to think that our audience is a little bit bigger than that, but I could be mistaken. So, but thank you to SpongeCake7 and OG Rosen Orgy, which might be Josh Rosen, NFL quarterback Josh Rosen for the Arizona Cardinals. So
yeah. Sports. Go Hawks. Go Clones. You'll get that joke in 3 weeks.
2 weeks, my friend.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Do you have a podcast you want to talk about right now?
No.
You want to start a podcast?
I've thought about it.
What are you going to talk about?
Comedy.
Dynamite.
It's going to be really interesting. And I've been told that I have a very soothing voice, so it might be comedy meditation.
What? That sounds pretty rad, though. I'm back in.
Yeah.
At first, it was snarky. Now, I'm intrigued.
Check me out on CastBox.
Yeah. Well, you assholes with your CastBox. Let's get on that now, I guess.
You fucking Podbean assholes.
Yeah. Someone yelled at me earlier because I don't have Podbean, and I was like, I don't know how to fucking get on it. I think you have to be a part of Podbean to get on Podbean.
I think maybe I'll shake Don's tree. Don is our producer from SixSquirrelStudios.com. If you're starting a podcast, or if you just say, fuck Don, like Zane Riley did.
Yeah. I cut out the middle, man.
If you want to cut out the but Don does an awesome job on this podcast, and especially 10 Bell Pod, because the egomaniac known as Nicholas Alexander has a lot of demands, and Don meets every one of them. So if you're starting a podcast, make sure you get up with Don at SixSquirrelStudios.com. Now with all the plugs out of the way, let's talk about our topic of discussion, shall we?
Yes.
Lauren, I think last time you discussed, was it with WWA something, or it was, I can't remember what promotion we had you. It was a show.
Neither does she.
Oh, it bothers me now who we assigned you like one of those people that tried to take over wrestling, that said they were going to take over Vince McMahon in 2003. One of those people. But today we have somebody who actually did topple Vince McMahon for 83 weeks in WCW. The show we are discussing, to go along with our October Halloween theme. I think it's going to be a regular thing on How Did This Get Booked. We will always discuss a Halloween Havoc, no matter how good or how bad it'll be.
You'll remember it from last year, and it's been 1 year.
Exactly. We are discussing Halloween Havoc 1994, which took place in Detroit, Michigan. The awful town of Detroit, Michigan, which is now the subject of Crime Town podcast.
Yeah, I had to listen to the new one. I listened to the old one.
Yes.
Good podcast. You should look at it on CastBox.
Yeah, it's far better than this one, and I'm pretty sure it's available on Podbean and Spotify. So go check them out. More particulars about Halloween Havoc 1994. It took place at the Joe Louis Arena, which actually in 1995, same parameters, same specifics. The attendance for the 1994 Halloween Havoc was 14,000 people, and it took place on October 23rd, 1994. 14,000 is a large jump up from the 1993 Halloween Havoc, which took place in New Orleans, Louisiana, which only had an attendance of 6,000 people. And like I said, 1995 also took place in the Joe Louis Arena, and that only had 13,000. So this is definitely one of their biggest pay-per-views. This is Hulk Hogan's second WCW pay-per-view, Bash at the Beach.
And it's already a retirement match.
Exactly. Bash at the Beach also drew 14,000 in Orlando, and it was like WCW's biggest pay-per-view to date. So big business for WCW at this time.
We did forget one question.
What's that?
Since being on the podcast last.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Have you started watching more wrestling? That is the answer everyone always gives.
I'm glad you asked that, because that gave us the answer we were looking for.
Actually, I doubled the amount of wrestling that I was already watching.
Because you watched this?
Because I've watched now 2 instead of just the 1.
So yes and no.
Okay.
We're the first not completely no.
You have seen more. So that's the most honest answer we've gotten.
So we've done it. Our mission is complete.
A little bit more specifics about this time period in WCW history is the pay-per-view just before was actually Fall Brawl in September of 1994. And that drew 6,500 people. Mm-hmm. So this is a big... But Hulk wasn't on that one.
Yeah, he doubled up.
So anytime you have Hulk on the card, it doubles up. But then we see a little bit of a dip at Starrcade at the next pay-per-view in Nashville, which only drew about 8,200 people. But that's actually the same number that Starrcade drew every year. So they didn't drop below that. But they were always about that for 3 years in a row. Yeah. The tagline for this pay-per-view was... Get ready for it. It's not as good as the tagline for 2 weeks from now.
We're gonna be raising some cane.
The tagline for this pay-per-view is "Witness the terrifying rage in the cage," and it's said that excitingly. By the way, just to let you know, the dark match for this show consisted of Brian Armstrong taking on Booker T with Stevie Ray. It was supposed to be the Armstrongs taking on Harlem Heat, but Brad had a family emergency. Either the day before or the day of the show.
How did Brad have a family emergency, but Brian didn't?
I know it should usually be the other way around, but
well, they're both in the family. You'd think it's an our emergency, not just a your emergency.
Well, I think it was more of Brad's specific family, his branch of the Armstrong family tree.
Got a little broken.
Whereas Brian was like, "Nah, fuck it, mine's fine."
Yeah, whatever, man. You go. I'm gonna make this payday.
Exactly. So this is where we're at. Lauren, what were your initial thoughts? Because like I said, this is a little bit different of a wrestling show than what you saw last time.
Mm-hmm. Is it more highly produced?
Highly more produced. What was your initial reactions when I gave you this link and you clicked on it and you just saw the first couple seconds and minutes of this pay-per-view?
Well, the first thing I noticed was that it was 2 hours and 42 minutes long. Mm-hmm. And I wrote that down. So that impressed me with the amount of time that it would take to watch this, to do this podcast.
And then it said, "Fuck you, Jake," right beside
it. Yeah, why do you have like me drawn and like stab marks through it on your notebook?
This is a voodoo doll.
Why do you say "fuck Jake Manning"? And you have so many pages. There are so many pages right now that just say "fuck Jake Manning" on it. I'm flipping through like 30 pages
that
just say. I've been
working on my own T-shirt design, and I wasn't sure which one to go with. So.
Well, if you're paying by the letter, that's a very expensive T-shirt.
It's like when you write what your married name will be with your boyfriend, except this is the divorce part. It's, "Fuck Jake Manning. Fuck Jake Manning."
So one of the first things that I noticed is when they said that it was in Detroit, Michigan, and that the claim to fame of the Joe Louis Arena was that they took out Nancy Kerrigan's knees about 50 feet from the stadium. They referenced Nancy Kerrigan quite a few times during the match.
Oh, the match? You mean the entire pay-per-view? Yeah. They bring it up all the time.
Now, I'm not sure. That must have just happened because I did
not. Okay. We were talking probably a few months before that. This is October '94. I think it happened in January of 1994.
This is current event.
Yes, because the Winter Olympics, I believe, were in '94, and they would have been in February, and that was just weeks before. So we're talking about probably January or even December of '93.
So no spoilers, but Hulk Hogan, they kept talking about his knee. Was that playing off Nancy Kerrigan, or is that legitimate?
Oh, that was a complete ripoff.
Okay, all right.
All that. Like that, they just recreated that angle of attacking him on the way to the ring, a la Nancy Kerrigan.
That's not tacky at all.
No, that's pro wrestling.
Yeah,
that is fucking pro wrestling.
It's not called tacky. It's called pro wrestling. It's not gay. It's pro wrestling.
Yeah, that should. Yeah, instead of having that tagline, it should be like, "It's not tacky. It's pro wrestling."
Yeah,
that's really what the tagline should be.
Okay.
So, but you
and there's a masked person with a lead pipe later.
Yeah. Was he underneath the ring the whole time?
Oh, we're gonna talk about that because I have some logistical issues about that whole thing, and we will. Well, I actually drew diagrams instead of "fuck Jake Manning" in this notepad. All right, I have schematics of the Joe Louis Arena.
Different priorities.
Yeah,
exactly. I took 0 notes. I am reading the Wikipedia page. On matches.
Don't go changing your method of research.
Zane Riley, don't go changing. I'm like Bull Mountain.
I must ask because you might be the second, maybe the third female that has seen a show that features Bobby the Brain Heenan. He was one of the commentators.
Had the neck brace on.
Oh, yeah.
What are your thoughts on Bobby the Brain Heenan?
Oh.
There's a look of disgust on your face.
So, first of all, the jacket. Talk about the jacket. The red sequin.
Talk about it.
Shoulder pad jacket.
Okay.
With the clearly fake neck brace. I don't know what that was about. He was so anti-Hulk the whole time. And just a schlub. Is the best way to describe
You were
him.
180 from the previous lady's thoughts on him.
What did they
She was in love with him.
Love.
I'm questioning.
Was it Paige?
Yes, Paige.
How are you filtering people to come on this podcast?
We were still brand new.
what
We were
bar is
virgins.
Well, here's an idea. How about I filter you out of the room right now for disparaging the good name of Bobby the Brain Heenan?
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Are you a
Everybody
fan?
in here is dead.
Yes, I love Bobby the Brain Heenan. Are you not a fan?
Did he make you mad?
I couldn't tell by that diatribe how you felt about
I
him.
just thought that I would think the commentators need to be more even. Is that not from all 2 wrestling shows that I watched all the way
Which
through?
is fun. This is why I love having non-wrestling fans on the podcast. That's your how you see it. But in pro wrestling, you can't have them to be neutral. You always have to have the good guy and the bad guy, preferably. That's what you want. Even though WWE is trying to make it more like sports and have them more even. But for a long time, you always have the good guy, play-by-play guy, and then the heel color commentator. And
He did a great job.
He made you real mad.
And real mad. And he did his job. He did his job. Okay. But it's okay for you to hate him. It's okay.
That's the point. We want you.
Just because the door is open doesn't mean you should leave. I'm just saying.
And Jake is just doing the shoe motion.
Yeah.
Taking my bottle of water with me.
No, damn it. We only have one for all the guests.
Take your notebook that says "fuck Jake Manning"
Yeah.
in it 1,000,000 times and get out of my ever-loving house. Speaking of ever-loving house, singing the national anthem is T. Graham Brown.
Please explain how that worked as a segue.
Ooh. Let me talk to you about T. Graham Brown.
You just shake your arms like you're wearing sleeves, buddy. Let's go.
Okay. T. Graham Brown is a country singer. I would say a less than successful country singer that turned gospel singer. All of a sudden out of nowhere.
Equally as successful gospel singer?
Once he left, quote unquote, his record label in 1991. He didn't record another album until 1998. So this is like during a dead spot. So this isn't in 1994. Like his sales were so bad, he had a dispute with his record label. He left in 1991, didn't record another album until 1998. So like
at one point along the way, he's like, I'm gonna sing national anthem.
This is like bottom of the barrel for T. Graham Brown. Like this is him singing the national anthem on WCW is basically like when Lawrence Taylor's saying that him main eventing WrestleMania was the lowest point in his life. This is T. Graham Brown's lowest point in his life.
But I think Lawrence Taylor was a tad bit more relevant.
Exactly, than T. Graham Brown. Which I have no idea why he's singing the national anthem in Detroit, especially when they made all of the big hubbub about like Motown. Like you couldn't get any
Johnny B. Bad to sing it?
Any tangential Motown artist whatsoever. T. Graham Brown is more connected to Georgia and Nashville than he is Detroit. So I don't know who in the office had a hard-on for T. Graham Brown. They were like, we have to have T. Graham Brown sing the national anthem.
He looked bored with himself when he was singing.
I mean,
I've been unemployed for 4 years, and this is the worst thing I've done.
So would you say that he's T. Graham bored?
Oh man, you said the door was that way, right? I'm gonna just show myself out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out.
That was a pleasure,
Adding another
Lauren.
page
Yeah.
here.
Can I borrow some paper, please?
Jake Manning is not funny. Jake Manning is not funny.
Remember that time we used to do your Yep mics for you, Jake?
Ah.
I quit.
But let's just go ahead and get into match number 1, which is a WCW TV title match with Honky Tonk Man taking on Johnny B. Bad, who was wearing fake vampire teeth.
Yep.
So,
And that was the most normal thing about him.
what are your thoughts on this first match, Lauren?
They were both big dudes. They kept calling Honky Tonk Man just Honky, that was interesting.
How'd that make you feel as a white lady?
I was okay with it because he did look like one.
Looked like textbook honky over there.
Johnny B. Bad was rocking that mullet. That was amazing.
He's a bad man.
Nice tans. Very nice tans.
Yeah.
I thought that the entire pay-per-view. No, I was like, man, everyone looks so good.
One quote from one of the commentators was he got him right in the jukebox. So I thought that was classic.
That's good. That's a good tie-in. I didn't catch that one.
A lot of crotch grabs.
Okay.
Oh, there was the Johnny B. Bad guy got up and pulled the old crotch face gag on Honky. That's what I wrote. I don't know.
What does that mean? It didn't sound like you could read
like
most of that.
He sat on him, I think. He sat on his face.
Watch the same movie?
I mean, I had to pay extra. Was this?
No, you're right.
Okay.
Nope, same one.
Same one. You got the right one.
You find this on Pornhub or on the WWE Network.
Are there Pornhub parodies of WCW pay-per-views that I don't know about?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll send you a link.
Okay.
I'll give you my password. It's also Sponge Cake 7.
Sponge Cake 7 is still the password. Okay.
What do you think, Jake?
I was fascinated in this because we all know how Honky likes to, put them working boots on. I kept a tally of how many bumps were in the match.
How many?
I thought Honky was far and away going to be a much lower number than what he was. A Honky bump 9 times in this match.
Ooh, give it to the kid. Bumps when you fall down.
Land on your back. And that even includes, a belly back suplex. Johnny B. Bad only bumped 4 times.
Ooh.
So there are a total of 13 bumps in this 10-minute draw.
2 guys not want to do anything.
Which is the 3rd longest match on the show, by the way. Found that a little odd.
My favorite was the big blonde lady in the front row.
Yes, I didn't know if you guys noticed
fucking
her.
in love with her. But I watched the entire time. She changes shirts partway through.
Yeah.
To a Hulk Hogan shirt. But yeah, the first one was like Johnny B. Bad is real pretty or some shit like that. But it was like the sequency shirt, and she was like front row, middle, hard cam side, or hard cam facing.
Oh, that means somebody went over hey, can you put this Hulk over?
Yeah,
We're trying to get Hulk over. Go, please.
Poodle
Yeah,
hair.
oh man,
platinum blonde, hair sprayed poodle, 90s hair is perfect.
She was awesome. She was the highlight of that match.
Okay. That and plus everybody working towards Muhammad Ali, which everybody on the show did. Muhammad Ali is on hard camera side, and everybody is just going right to him and doing everything in front of him.
He was looking a little shaky there too.
Hey,
a little, not a full on shake the yoo-hoo before you drink it, but kind of rolling some dice.
Listen, he's 2 years away from lighting an Olympic torch. Okay, so he still can handle fire at this moment in time. We know that for sure, at least for another 2 years. So we get through that match.
Yeah.
Harmlessly enough. We get back to the flashback that was aforementioned where Hulk Hogan was attacked, Nancy Kerrigan style, at the Clash of the Champions on August 21st, 1994, which that Clash of the Champions took place in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Now, keep in mind, in 1994, I didn't know WCW existed.
And is currently wearing an Iowa shirt.
Exactly, because that's where I grew up. We were a WWF country.
How far away was that from you?
Cedar Rapids was probably hour and a half, less than 2 hours from me. And you have a Clash of the Champions going on. You have a huge wrestling fan. And I have no idea that there is a big show going on, let alone do I even know the promotion that is putting on said show even exists.
And you already knew who Hulk Hogan was.
Definitely knew who Hulk Hogan was. I had the workout set and was probably playing with it and working out with it on the same day that this pay-per-view happened. So there you go, WCW, on your crack marketing team. You had somebody who would have bugged his parents to go see said show. But
do you think they would have taken you?
Oh, yeah. I would have bugged the shit out of them.
Pushovers.
Especially with Hulk Hogan making kind of his comeback to wrestling that time. Oh, I would have lost my mind to make sure that they took me there. So I would have had no clue who Arn Anderson and Ric Flair was.
Yeah.
I would just
who are all these jabronis over here getting beat up by Hulk Hogan?
Well, no, I would have known who Ric Flair is because I remember when Ric Flair came into WWE, I thought he was a rookie. And I was like, man, this is the oldest rookie I've ever seen before in my life. I had no idea who it was. Like, that's so weird that I live in Charlotte, North Carolina now, and everybody was like, they grew up with the NWA, they grew up with WCW. I didn't know it existed until 1995 when we got DirecTV.
Everybody has a story about how they saw Ric Flair drunk in a bar around here.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't grow up here. So.
Where did you grow up?
Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Oh, fuck you, really?
fucking...
It's like seeing Chief J. Eagle right down the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. You know. Spartanburg, huh? Explains.
But we get the reenactment of the Nancy Kerrigan attack because, you know, that's topical. Especially, like, they're doing it in August. Like, it would have happened months prior.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're trying to say that Nancy Kerrigan went off of them?
No. I'm just saying, like, they did a pop culture reference that was months old.
Gotcha.
So at least I think that's how it works, because they would have been the Winter
Oh, yeah,
Olympics
right.
in
It would have been the
94.
beginning of the year. And then...
But I'm just saying, like,
you're right.
they would have been long past the attacker thing. Like, way to be in the
I'm
wrestling
sure this is
bubble.
still up in the air. Like, you know, they're still talking about, like, if Kanye was a part of it or if this guy just maliciously did it.
Well, I
I
mean,
don't
like,
think it was wrapped up that fast.
I mean, it wasn't wrapped up that fast, but I think, like, Tanya was taking independent wrestling bookings by this moment in time. You know?
Yeah, she should have been.
Yeah, because
Doing softcore porn and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't think she was quite there
Oh,
yet.
Well.
They had definitely released, like, some photos of her,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that was, like, mostly her boyfriend who was abusing her anyways, and then he was going for a different level of abuse.
Yeah, just going straight for revenge porn?
Yeah.
There you go.
So,
That's
because
healthy.
same thing. Yeah, it's a good relationship. And then, of course, pro wrestling tried to exploit that because, you know,
Pieces of shit.
it's tacky. It's pro wrestling.
Thank you.
But yeah, and then we get into Flair hanging out with Mr. T at Michael Jordan's restaurant because that's so Chicago. And then we get into match number 2. Pretty wonderful. Paul Roma and Paul Orndorff taking on Stars and Stripes, Marcus Bagwell, and the Patriot, Del Wilkes, to be clear. What were your thoughts on this tag team match?
More good tans.
Lots of tans. I liked the baggy patriotic pants. They were very acrobatic. Very acrobatic.
Oh, that Paul Roma where he runs up the top, turns around, and drops that fist.
Yeah.
Brother, fucking Katie, bar the fucking door. That's unfucking believable. Yeah. And, like, I see Paul Roma from time to time.
Really? Is he still pretty? He was pretty here.
I mean, I'm just...
Do you think he was pretty?
Yeah.
His name was Pretty Paul.
Yeah, sure.
Why not?
Lots of mullets.
You don't even know recollection of who he was specifically, do you?
No, but...
Of these
he wasn't the guy in the mask.
Of these 4 men in this match, who intrigues you the most? Like, who would, like, is that, like, if you were to pick?
Intrigued me...
Obviously, the
funny
masked
you
man.
say that word.
Paul.
Oh, okay.
Because...
Which Paul? Roma or Orndorff?
Yes, one of those.
The black-haired one?
Or the brown-haired one?
Oh, you like Mr. Wonderful.
He was older?
Yep. Oh, that's Mr. Wonderful.
Okay.
Okay. What was that thing he did where he was, like, winding his hands up in the air for a while and then he came down, like, awkward, like he was milking a cow?
He was winding up the elbow.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, it looked really weird.
But you like the gyrations.
I did.
You like
did.
his commitment to the bids.
I wrote him a fan letter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Into the older men. Okay. Well,
He has a wonderful GoFundMe, so if you want to help him,
he's very much older now.
Is he?
Yeah. See this mustache? Times it by 5. Like that's what he's got going on right now. And take this nerve damage and times that by 5 as well.
That's why he has a GoFundMe.
But yeah, what are our thoughts on this pay-per-view?
Marcus Bagwell was the man back then.
Yeah,
he was my favorite.
Yeah,
for a long time, he was my favorite WCW guy until like Diamond Dallas Page came around. Yeah. Second favorite tag team to him and Too Cold Scorpio.
Yeah, Stars and Stripes was good.
Yeah.
You know, I like the comment that the Patriot might be Al Gore.
You know, topical.
Very, very topical reference. Anything else that you could pull out of this, Lauren, that you found was interesting in this tag match?
All I wrote was that Pretty Wonderful got me pretty horny.
There you go.
There you go. Now you're
Pretty acrobatic.
That was pretty good.
There you
Pretty
go.
flexible.
I got to take a quote from Bobby the Brain Heenan. He had a quote in there where he was talking about Superfly Jimmy Snuka, and he goes, "Superfly, that always sounded like a big pair of pants to me." I don't know why that joke.
Why did they talk about Superfly Jimmy Snuka?
I don't know. They brought it up, and he just said, "Superfly, that always sounded like a big pair of pants to me."
Also, if you'd like to know more about Jimmy Superfly Snuka, you can tune into Ten Bell Pod.
Exactly.
And hear about him murdering lady, allegedly.
Allegedly. We don't commit slander because we say allegedly. No comeback. No hot tag in this tag match. I always tell people that you always have to have a hot tag. You always have to have a comeback. Apparently, you don't have to.
Pretty Wonderful said you're pretty wrong.
Obviously, I'm pretty stupid for thinking that. So I was proven wrong. Now we go to the backstage area with Ric Flair and Sensational Sherri. Now, Lauren, Ric Flair promos are a subject of a lot of a love for people. Like, I know people that specifically just type into YouTube Ric Flair promos and they just watch them all night long. I would venture to guess that this is your first ever Ric Flair promo that you've ever seen.
Yes.
What were your thoughts as a non-wrestling fan seeing Ric Flair cut a promo?
I loved his robe.
Okay.
The butterfly fan, glitter fan.
What were your thoughts of his woman?
Did she know there wasn't any music playing when she was dancing? Because she was really getting down to like dead air.
No, there's always music in Sensational Sherri's head. Like, okay. She's always. All right,
because she was a good dancer.
She's always ready.
Yeah.
Like she's ready for a fight. She's ready for a dance party. Yeah. That woman is ready
at a dance party.
Yeah.
She is ready for everything.
Well, we got some comments on her in that.
Oh yes,
match,
we do. It gets crazy.
Yeah, her makeup was very Kiss band, go-go dancer. It was good.
I dressed up as her for Halloween one year.
Yeah.
And I love you for it.
I want to see those pictures.
Yes, ma'am. I'll get them up as soon as I get a little signal in here.
And was Ric Flair ever young? Like, he looks...
The younger he is, the older he looks.
Okay. All right. Because this was, what, 30 years ago almost?
Yeah, 24?
It's mathy.
Yeah.
Math.
24.
Yeah, 24.
Yeah. Okay. That hair.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Bleach blonde, baby.
Full head of hair.
And just would move around every time he moved his head like that.
Didn't they show is this the one where they showed a clip of him like tearing $100 bills up? Or no, that's a different one. I saw that on Twitter. Okay. Like, you got one where he's just like ripping full $100 bills in half and throwing them down on the ground.
So what's like the...
Boner Jam.
You say people look up Boner Jam?
That's what I had.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, sorry, pretty horny. This bitch.
So what's the point of the promo? Like, why do people look those up?
Because they're so good and they're outrageous, and he just, like, take his shoe off and goes, "My shoes cost more than your house." Like, just crazy, just the outlandish stuff like that. Like, especially those Saturday morning promos he would cut, usually after an all night of partying. He'd be super hungover and still on whatever he had put into his system the night before and just screaming as loud as possible, just going, whoo, 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 whoo. Just absurd thing, just looking like $1 million with a title belt and just being a maniac.
Okay. Draws you in and gets you like really excited about what you're about to see. Tells you the story before you see it.
And never cutting a promo very softly. Always very yelling over the top.
Very Sam Kinison of him.
Yeah. Ric Flair's a Sam Kinison of pro wrestling. Yeah. But we're going to move on to a man who's probably a little bit more closer to Sam Kinison, and Kevin Sullivan taking on David Sullivan, who is coming out to his new entrance song, "I Want to Be a Hulkamaniac." Now, do you know the whole story behind the David Sullivan character? Or...
I do not. I mean, I know I got the idea. He just was a really big Hulk Hogan fan.
This was like the first time that pro wrestling tried to have a character that was
mentally handicapped.
Yeah, mentally challenged, maybe a better way to put it. But
capable.
They spun it more that he was dyslexic, even though he would do things that dyslexics don't do. More people that were had a bit more of a struggle mentally would do. I wouldn't say that he was necessarily dyslexic. Like they put a little bit of a difference in his speech patterns, which is not
dyslexic. How does your dyslexia prevent you or hinder your ability to do everything else but read?
Well, that's the thing. I am dyslexic myself, and I do stutter from time to time. Let's be honest. We've listened to this podcast multiple times before, but at the same time too, like. That's not how the dyslexic people act, but you have much in the same sense that some directors would tell an African American actor to black it up a bit more. I believe they went over to
to Dave.
To Dave and R-worded up a little bit more on certain occasions. So it gets a little uncomfortable. And they leaned into the dyslexic thing where they called him Evad, which is Dave spelled backwards. But there's an interesting story behind Dave Sullivan. And I have actually a personal connection to Dave Sullivan, which is very odd.
You guys go on a speed date together?
No. My one of my friends from high school went on to play college football, and his head football coach was Dave Sullivan.
There you go.
Who is more like Evad, the Evad character in real life than you could possibly have met. He apparently the pro wrestling business has been very rough on him.
You don't say.
And he's got a bit of a shake to him.
Oh, poor guy.
And is very rude to people.
Oh.
And refers to people as anal tongue darts. Where that comes from, I don't know.
Sounds like a good Saturday.
But he's a bit vulgar and probably not the type of guy you want to spend a long car ride with.
Was he really Kevin Sullivan's brother?
No, he was not. They just found somebody that kind of looked like Hulk Hogan and kind of looked like Kevin Sullivan, and then they just put him out there as like Hulk Hogan's biggest fan. But he actually worked for New Japan for a short period of time. Actually wrestled Scott Norton in the Tokyo Dome. Ooh. And he also wrestled in CWA Germany. Most of it was out of the Pacific Northwest. He was trained by Lynn Denton. But now, and he was a football coach, went into pro wrestling, and then went back to football coaching, where he coached my buddy Jake Zane. So, actually, also too in my research, he I should also mention while he was dyslexic. They say the dyslexic thing, but there was a time in WCW where he had a pet rabbit, like Lenny, and they had Big Bubba Rogers do a feud with him and probably did something salacious to the bunny. But in 1996, after he had left professional wrestling, he relocated to Bentonville, Arkansas, where he worked for Walmart as a fitness trainer.
For Walmart?
That's what was in his Wikipedia page. And
anybody can update that, right?
I know, and I would like somebody to tell me what a fitness trainer at Walmart does.
It is pizza in your mouth. That's what they do.
Yeah. Work at the food court. There you go. It's a good one. Work at the food court.
But like I said, he became the head football coach at Dana College in Blair, Nebraska, where he met my buddy Jake Zane.
Is that where he coached?
And now he is the AD, the athletic director at Dana College. A man that would call people anal tongue darts on a regular basis.
Work that into regular vernacular.
In 1994, he was voted by The Observer as the worst wrestler and the worst gimmick in pro wrestling. So
I disagree upon both.
Okay, well, what are your thoughts on the match?
I love Kevin Sullivan. I don't even care if he kills.
I do too. I
allegedly.
Yeah, exactly.
He loves him some Satan. I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
I love Kevin Sullivan. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like from what I looked at Dave, and I was watching WCW at this time, and I remember that Dave Sullivan was the person there, but not any of his specifics. But I do definitely remember watching Kevin Sullivan then, and I've always loved him. And this is not a bad match.
No.
I mean, it could have been far worse.
I know. At this moment in time, I'm like, oh man, this isn't a bad pay-per-view.
Yeah.
This was definitely the moment where like, ooh, I picked a good pay-per-view to watch.
Yeah.
So
we just picked Halloween Havoc on accident now.
Exactly. What were your thoughts on the match? The Sullivan brothers fighting each other, Lauren?
Hulk Hogan 2 and Hulk Hogan 3.
Okay.
Balding blonde men fighting. Wasn't there something about, did he shove the bandana in the guy's mouth?
Yes.
In this match? Okay.
And then he's like, here, I'll put it on. We're friends now. We're friends now.
And then shoves it in his
Because,
mouth.
dyslexic people, they get confused so easily. That's the thing. Like, for them to say it was dyslexic, no, you were portraying somebody who is mentally challenged.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not pretend this is.
Yeah.
All right. Like I said, count out. Decent match. Was what it was. That's when we get into the recap for Dustin Rhodes and Arn Anderson. And I love how Arn was cutting this badass promo while they were trying to pour champagne on him.
Well, as all good badass things go, you should have champagne.
That's the thing. But when Arn Anderson's talking, everybody just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
Some guys are Flair guys, some guys are Arn Anderson guys.
That's the thing. Like people will just YouTube Ric Flair promos for the ridiculousness of it. You guys that are just hung up on Ric Flair need to go just do YouTube searches on Arn Anderson. And Lauren is writing, I love Arn Anderson. I love Arn Anderson. I love Arn Anderson.
Well, she's into those older dudes we've established.
I'm going to look up these promos.
You should.
That's what I'm going to look up.
Trust me, Arn Anderson, you will not be disappointed. Mm-hmm. Most certainly not. You will be a little bit disappointed if you look into Arn's personal history, though.
Yeah.
So
don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Never meet your heroes.
I was just about to say never meet your heroes.
Never meet your heroes. Match number 4, Arn Anderson with Ming and Colonel Robert Parker taking on Dustin Rhodes. What are you guys' thoughts on this match?
Still in. I love how Arn, being a super serious guy, can get beat up and look like a complete, more like just like the shaking and the selling of it, and look completely stupid, but still look like a straight up badass.
I know, and I've always tried to do that myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't fully get that.
You
with
don't
my
attain
work.
what he does.
I can't obtain what he does, but I am always striving to be that because he is the model of that, and he's a prime example.
I think we're back in the still. It's still a pretty good pay-per-view so far.
I know, especially this match, especially when Dustin goes over the top rope for that lariat and flies over the top. Not only flies over the top, but flies over the steps that are just randomly in the middle. So he knows he has to get a far way. So he basically just jumps over the top rope and ends up in the entranceway. Insane. What were your thoughts on this match, Lauren?
I wrote some notes like I have for every match we've already discussed. I don't know why I made a big deal about that, but
these aren't thoughts; these are notes.
You're thinking about Arn Anderson right now,
Arn
and it's
Anderson.
sorry.
Yeah. Arn Anderson was the enforcer of chest hair.
Okay.
And I did want to ask you something. I don't know if now is an appropriate time to ask.
Okay.
What's the attire underneath the pants? Is there
the trunks?
Yeah, are there cups? Because
no, this is not an appropriate thing because I just had this conversation this past weekend. It's all personal preference.
Okay.
It's all personal, like what you want to do, and some people have under trunks, that they put on and then they put the trunks on, and there's other people that just go straight trunks and nothing underneath. I'm more of a trunks and nothing underneath type of guy, and that's why. I mean, the Man Scout outfit that I have is very much on point and on brand with who I'm trying to be as a wrestler. And I wish my body was a little bit better, even though right now I'm pretty lean right now.
I'm gonna say, are you anymore? And
right now I can pull off trunks right now, but it's not on brand with who I am. I wrestled with trunks this weekend because, I love wrestling in trunks.
Yeah,
I just love it. Having no fabric to fucking deal with when you're moving around like that. Like, that's just an ideal situation.
When
you're wrestling around with other guys and you're jumping off the top rope and you're in a headlock with another guy and you're body slamming another guy and crotch grabbing and just, you want to have the least amount of clothes as possible. Yeah. It's so much fucking easier. And if I could just wrestle in trunks all the time, I would.
When you say trunks, you talking about
the underwear?
The underwears.
Just no legs.
Just what he was wearing. Just what Arn Anderson was wearing.
Okay.
Yeah, like what if I could just wrestle like that, that would be just
because the natural looked like he was pretty natural. It didn't look like there was anything else going on down there.
Look, some guys are growers, some guys are showers, and then sometimes they're just inverted when you're wrestling on another dude.
Listen,
You might have been half in his butthole.
I have heard some things about Dustin. I hear he makes people very happy. That's what I have heard from people that have been married to him for a very long time. Made a point to tell that to me about him.
Anyone that listens,
I'm just saying.
You know who Dustin Rhodes is? Big dick.
There we go. Can we say that? Is that's not like anything that we would get in trouble for?
I don't think that's slander if you're talking positively about someone.
It's because it was made very clear to me and random conversation that Dustin Rhodes has a big dick.
I haven't been in the locker room with him. I'm a checker. I'll look.
I was told I was talked to as if I already knew.
To or at?
To. It was I wasn't talked at because she didn't see me as a person.
Okay.
that she goes, "Oh, you've been in a locker room with Dusty, and you know he's got a big dick." I'm like, I don't look at other guys' dicks when I'm in the locker room.
Up.
But apparently, when I said that, I was told, like, well, you wouldn't have missed it. I believe was the words that came back at me. So, at my direction, because she wasn't talking at me, because she doesn't see me as a person.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I hear. So
you went on longer than I expected to about that.
I like that we went into length of dick when the question was just about containing said dick.
Thank you. Yeah.
Listen, anytime I have a chance to paint Dustin Rhodes in a positive light, I will go that route.
Go for it.
Okay.
I say all that to say this: under trunks.
Under trunks. There you go. Okay. Some people wear man thongs. Some people don't. Some people just go natural. Some people don't. It's all personal preference. Yeah.
Depends, and also depends on the seam of your trunks. Like I have a singlet that the seam is down the middle, like front to back, and so then that makes shit sit weird. Then I have one that goes left to right, and that's not so weird. So like with the one, I'd have to wear like a cup, so it kindles out rather than odd set of testicles on one side of a seam.
Yeah, sometimes you get that. Like I don't know what causes that, where you get like the little fucking little turtle head poking out. Like I don't know what causes that.
I've been in many deals where like young guys will get ready to go out to wrestle, and they'll be in their gear, and like, when you've wrestled long enough, you look at people's gear, you know, that's good quality and whatnot, you know, and then you kind of look down like, man, you need to fix your dick. Your dick looks all weird. Yeah,
that's always when you look at your gear, like see how it fits, and then like usually like the first thing is like the stitching or how it lays out like around your waist, and then the next thing you always look for is like how does your dick look?
Yeah,
always when you look at other people's gear, it's how does it fit around your waist? What's your dick look like?
And it needs to be unassuming. You can't be walking around from all these kids looking real good
or
looking real bad.
Yeah, you can't be. It's like
it's got to tuck down. I mean, this one guy always tucked his dick straight up. He looked like a fucking psycho, and I would yell at him every time, "Fucking tuck your dick down."
Yeah.
We did the show with another wrestler who wore it was a cosplay show, so we were wearing like costumes of another character, and he was Frozone from the Incredibles movie, and he had nothing underneath, and his dick was way too big for all of us.
Oh yeah. Frozone definitely's got a big dick.
We had to keep yelling like, dude, you need to go fucking find some underwear. You gotta do something, brother. You can't look.
Yeah, see, when I do the Deadpool outfit, especially like the old one, I made sure I put trunks underneath so I could pull that dick right up in there.
It's like a girdle almost. It's like Spanx.
Yeah,
wearing the trunks under a full like onesie.
Because I'm an older man, and like the balls are just
it's all I got.
They're doing their own goddamn thing right now, so they're sick of me and I'm sick of them. So like I really got to put them in their proper place sometimes, especially when like, hey, we need to get work to get done, and they're like, okay, fine, and like
so we say all that to say this: under trunks.
Sometimes.
I didn't want to say anything because I just wanted you to keep talking.
we haven't. I mean, look, seen plenty of dicks in my day where I've had to tell them to tuck it different.
Right.
Whatevs.
Yeah.
I'm helping you kids out.
Yeah. I mean,
no one was there to tell me what to do with my dick when I was your age.
I know, right? Like, that's something that really needs to be discussed. Because, like, they'll let you just go out there with your dick looking all
fucking weird.
Spandex, you know? Like, that's what a good friend's like, hey, man, you need to fix that fucking dick.
Yeah.
You know?
Dicks are weird, man.
Yeah, dicks are weird.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. You get me.
Yeah.
So, what's the next?
I really hope my mom doesn't listen to this.
You better hope not, because you totally didn't go, no, I don't know what you're talking about. You pretty much accepted it full on.
What's that? Look up dicks? Like, look up Arn Anderson promos. Look up Ric Flair promos. Look up dicks online. Good luck finding a website that's got dicks on it. All right, good luck.
Tucked dicks. What is that?
Incognito tab.
Yeah.
Step 1.
Yeah.
We get Hulk Hogan's backstage promo.
Speaking of dicks.
Speaking of Hulk Hogan's thermos. What are your thoughts on all this Hulk Hogan promo, Lauren, at this moment in time?
He was this like his heyday on top of his game, or was he kind of coming back in?
No, he's coming back in more than on top of his game.
Yeah, this is like him getting that money. You know what I'm saying? This is his LeBron LA Lakers era of Hulk Hogan. Yeah, sure, he's gonna do some stuff that's important. to the business, but at the same time too, his best years are behind him, but he's gonna have some good years, but he's gonna really need a crew around him to make him look. You know what I mean? LeBron in LA. That's it, sports analogy. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, LeBron.
Look up LeBron.
LeBron.
Is that a capital B?
It is a big L-E.
Yeah.
Big B.
Yeah, big B. So
I don't know about his D. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I did not realize that Hulk Hogan was related to everyone because he kept calling everyone brother.
So many brothers.
So many brothers.
You guys aren't even resemblant.
Yeah. I mean, he
calls... Brother Brudai.
Yeah, Big Brother Brudai.
Yeah.
And,
who was smaller than Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. And Hulk even calls dogs brother.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I saw Hulk Hogan call a dog, hey, what's up, brother? Like, can't you just call him dog? Like, hey, what's up, dog? He can't even say that. He just he calls a dog brother.
D-O-G or D-A-W-G, whatever you're feeling.
Yeah, he doesn't even do that. He goes, hey, what's up, brother? You call a dog brother. You could just call a dog and be like, hey, what's up, dog? You can't say that.
It's a built-in pun.
Yeah, that's all you have to do.
He doesn't have a solid 5 for the comedy zone, that's for sure.
That's for sure. Not anymore.
Does have a porn tape, though, where he says N-word. So, I mean, that's kind of something.
That's kind of something.
Look that up. Incognito, Hulk Hogan porn.
That'd be something to look up as well.
N-word. There you go.
Okay. That goes back to the dicks thing. So there you go. We get into a recap of...
You gotta cite your references.
Stunning Steve Austin and Hacksaw.
I did not know that Steve Stone Cold Austin was... I had to look up that was the same person.
Yeah.
He looks totally different without the hair. And...
he's got that hipster, shave head, flop over combo, like before everybody else did.
Yeah. He started it.
Like, you see all those hipsters, all those alt-right guys, they got that shave and the flop over. Like, Steve Austin was doing that before everybody else was. But I remember going back and watching a VHS tape of, like, when Austin dropped the U.S. title to Hacksaw when he came in. And this was, like, after I'd already seen Stone Cold. And I go, man, no wonder why he left WCW. They were really fucking around with him. And I've wrestled Hacksaw, and it's pretty much always... pretty much the same match every time. So, like, the fact that he's embroiled in this feud with Hacksaw, I can only imagine what it was like calling this thing. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you what, though, Hacksaw looks fucking awesome at this time.
Yeah, he looks great.
I forgot how good a shape Hacksaw Jim Duggan looked. He looks awesome. But you said you were surprised when you saw Steve Austin. What were your thoughts on his wrestling? Because this is a much different wrestler than what you would have saw later on.
Yeah, so he wasn't clearly the popular guy.
Yes.
He was kind of, I guess, the underdog. Because, Hacksaw was the defending champion. He didn't seem as, I guess, like, masculine, which is weird to say. He wasn't just, like, everyman kind of guy. Yeah. He just kind of seemed more like a pretty boy.
Looked a little pansy, a little light in the loafers.
Yeah.
Like you would say in 94.
Mm-hmm. What you were allowed to say in 94 all the time. But any other thoughts, Zane, that you got out of this?
This was my favorite Stone Cold. This is my favorite Steve Austin. I always loved Hollywood Blondes and then Stunning Steve. Which, I mean, I'm not discrediting Stone Cold at all, but this was just my earliest memory of him, and I was always a fan of it. And I just love Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Mm-hmm. And I love the finish was the DQ for throwing him over the top. So I believe that's a great rule.
Yeah, it is a good rule, but I don't know. Like I'm.
You couldn't do it today with everybody being so like a flippy wrestler and all the leaps and bounds and evolution that wrestling has done since then until today. You couldn't do that and it'd still be believable and acceptable. Like one of the companies I wrestle for now, they have that rule. Mm-hmm. If you throw them over, and it's mainly because the ceiling is very low and people are breaking ceiling tiles, so they put that rule in. But this is also not like your normal indie-rific wrestling company.
Yeah, but a lot of that came with some of the rules that Bill Watts put in, where you're not supposed to jump off the top rope, and people got mad about that. But Bill Watts made a good point about that, and I do kind of agree with it. He goes, "How can you have any heat if you don't have any rules?" Mm-hmm. So if you put more rules on it, heels have more an ability to get heat.
I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying don't get caught doing it.
Exactly. That was his point, is you can get a heel to do that spot, and then that spot means that much more. Yeah. So I get that thought and that logic, because if you have no rules, nothing means anything.
Yeah.
So you have to have a little bit of a balance on all of that.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about it too.
But then at the end of this match, Steve comes and brings a 4x4 and almost smacks Steve. Mm-hmm. Steve Okay, they're both. Okay,
Hacksaw hit Steve with the 2x4.
Yeah. How is that even a thing? He just won and he goes, because Steve got disqualified, and he goes and he's about to smack him in the face. And the referee does nothing. What?
Well, because the match was over then. The referee can't do anything. And everybody, Hacksaw's big thing is this 2x4, and everybody loves it, and so he brings it out for people to start cheering, and they start cheering for him.
Why don't you put on your list, Google the rules of professional
wrestling,
wrestling, and, you know...
Over the top rope, thumbs down. 2x4 action, thumbs up.
File a case, we'll bring it to Wrestler Supreme Court, and we'll discuss it.
We have it all the time.
We're in the middle of nominations right now.
First and fourth Tuesdays. If you're free, you can come.
Just let you know. So that much happens. Good.
Still a good pay-per-view.
Still like, wow, this is a really good show.
And it doesn't always have to be bad wrestling here. There's still funny things and good wrestling.
We're Lauren's coming up with some stuff. You know,
a lot of porn sites to search for later.
Exactly.
Like, I'm have more homework.
There's a whole lot more dick knowledge than what you got here.
Yeah. So we're breaking new ground. You know, it's more about somebody that's never seen professional wrestling before.
This is also a learning podcast.
It is. It's more
live
you know.
podcast.
It's more you know. We go to Mean Gene trying to interview Sting, but Sting just wants to get to a seat and sit next to Muhammad Ali and explain what the fuck's going on to him, because that's the best way to put it. Then we see a recap of Vader and Big Bubba Rogers, otherwise known as the Guardian Angel this time, which Ray Traylor became a shoot Guardian Angel at this time.
Really?
Went up there and trained with them, and he was a legit Guardian Angel. He probably knew Curtis Lee and that whole outfit of individuals. You guys know about the Guardian Angels?
Were they became like the power team?
Oh,
the Christian lifting teams or whatever?
The Guardian Angels was a vigilante group that was started in New York to basically combat violence on subway trains. Oh. And then they started to branch out into other nefarious things and dealings that the mob was doing, like dealing drugs. And Curtis Lewi went to go try and fight a mob boss. So like Curtis Lewi is like a real life superhero. You should kind of although there's probably like a checkered past that I don't know about. So never meet your heroes.
Yeah.
I know Vampiro saw Curtis Lewi as a hero, and he met him, and he said he was okay, but I'm afraid to. And I don't know if Curtis Lewi is with us anymore, but I know
I'm not trying to take the stance where I shit on a dead man.
But I know that Ray Traylor and Vampiro were both Guardian Angels.
Oh.
And both of those guys are stand-up individuals, more so one than the other. But Vampiro's never done anything to me, and was always a super cool, good dude to me.
Vampiro's been kidnapped 3 times.
Yes. And that was that same interview where he talked about being a part of the Guardian Angels. So, that's all I know about the Guardian Angels. But, so...
I just thought it was like some reverse play on the Hells Angels. And they were just like an anti-Hells Angel biker group.
Nope. New York vigilante.
Didn't know it was real.
Group. You know, so if you could, basically it's like you can't put like, you know, police were understaffed. They couldn't be in every subway train. So the Guardian Angels like, we'll go and we'll make sure there's no trouble. It's basically kind of like that. That's basically how it kind of started. Like if you need somebody to watch over you and make sure you get home safe in the New York subways, we'll make sure that happens. If you can't put a police officer in every train, we'll put a Guardian Angel in every train.
Man. That's some scheduling right there.
That's some fucking badass shit.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what I've been explained about what the Guardian Angels are.
Ain't no homeless man pissing on this train today.
Yeah. Could probably use a couple Guardian Angels these days. The numbers are a little bit dwindling.
You could use the Guardian Angels on the Charlotte train.
Yeah. But don't worry, Rudy Giuliani came in with a bunch of police officers as Gestapo, and you know you didn't need the Guardian Angels anymore. So you're an armed militia. But the Guardian Angel attacks Harley Race out of the gate, and old Leon doesn't do shit about it. Proving my theory once again. Hashtag fuck Vader.
Rest in peace.
No, you can you can be a Vader apologist all you want.
I will be.
Much like on my other podcast, I'm a Click apologist. So you can be a Vader apologist. I will stand strong against Vader and what he did to my friends.
Hey, you don't have to pander just because the man's dead.
Okay.
They're both dead. I looked them up.
Yeah, they
Angel
are. Right.
passed away as
Did
well.
you look up everyone that's dead on this show?
No, I just for some reason I looked both of them up.
Just the
Well, why
'cause they're
why
fat.
those two, but not Ric Flair and Arn Anderson?
Well, I knew Ric Flair is still around.
Okay.
I don't know about Arn Anderson. I think it was because Vader was 450.
Okay.
That's a
That's
significant.
right, because he was fat.
So he was
Oh,
concerned for his
really?
health.
A super heavyweight. There was something somebody said. I'm not sure what it was on the show, but yeah, Guardian Angel died that next year, and then Vader died just this past summer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think Guardian Angel was a little bit past that, but yeah, they did die.
Oh,
very
excuse
young.
me, 2004.
Yeah.
So 10 years after.
Very, very before his time. Though, for sure.
2004, 94, same thing.
Which, fuck, I'm surprised fucking Boss Man survived those punches to the face by Vader and just taking him on the chin.
Just getting beat the shit out of.
Holy shit, fucking.
How much are those punches real punches?
Oh, for fucking Vader, they're probably
Yeah.
as hard as he
Yeah.
could possibly throw them.
So you
When-
actually do punch people in the face hard.
Some do. Like when I wrestled,
If you're an asshole like old Leon, yeah.
Okay.
when I wrestled Vader, I was scared of the Vader punches.
Yeah.
It's like people, like, he knocks the fuck out of you, and he does. Like he has. He didn't to me that day. He was very, very light.
But fucking
But yeah, he'll fuck you up.
old Ray
He was
Trailer.
also like real injured, like real crippled. So he was way past his prime when I was with him.
In his prime, Ray Trailer's just sticking his fucking chin
Yeah.
out, just daring a motherfucker. Like,
I've been hit harder by meth heads on the train.
and then like just doing a man power slam off the fucking top rope mid-air to him.
Yep.
Holy fucking shit, man. Like, people talk about the like Big Boss Man and Hulk Hogan and the cage match and that whole run. I think if people are fans of Boss Man, they need to go back and watch this fucking match
Yeah.
because this was pretty fucking good.
Still, my favorite part of this is just fucking Harley Race just bumping his fucking balls off for this.
And then the finish too with the
Getting old
suplex.
shit, just going at it.
The suplex from Race, and then as he comes down, Vader does the splash. Fucking great. Just so fucking good.
I'm glad he's still with us. If,
Yeah. Yeah.
if I had to give up two guys to keep him, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, if you're gonna tell me one of these guys has to live,
Could have picked Harley.
I'm gonna pick Harley. I'm gonna pick Harley 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
So that's the way it is.
And that one time is not going to be Vader.
Yeah, definitely not Vader. Definitely not Vader. Any other thoughts about this match before we move on?
If anyone listening watches this, you need to go to 1 hour, 37 minutes, and 40 seconds because that's when Vader crashes into the steel gate. And you were talking about the older white lady with the poodle hair. This was another old white lady with non-poodle hair. She was on the front row and she got out of the way so much to the guy next to her. It was hilarious. She looked horrified. That in and of itself is worth going back to look at this.
I'll definitely go back and look
I'm gonna
just
have
to
to
see
look at
that.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
You sold
Excellent.
me. Well, we're gonna keep moving on with this awesome fucking paper we're talking about today.
Jesus.
With one of my
Good
favorite.
thing we had that dick conversation to pull this all together.
I know, right? We're gonna have a match that contains one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Match number 7, Terry Funk
Yep.
with Bunkhouse Buck taking on the Nasty Boys.
You're a real Brian Knobs fan? Is that what you're a big fan of Brian
Yeah,
Knobs?
big fan of Brian Knobs. It was Jerry Sags who fucking
Jerry
almost
Sags.
killed me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fucking dig this.
My favorite thing, the best part of the whole thing was when old Jerry gave Terry Funk the Pity City.
Yeah,
And he goes, pulls back, you son of a bitch!
yeah.
Why the hell did you do that?
He got
Damn you!
so fucking mad.
And he's like
So
bleeding from the mouth.
Oh yeah.
When he put his face in his armpit.
Oh, yeah.
And then he teabagged him too. Like he also teabagged him in this match. And then there was a moment where like Terry Funk does a sell and he like goes out of the fucking ring. And I had to rewind him like, how the fuck did he do that? Like he went it's like he went through the ropes somehow.
Yeah.
Like I mean like a specter through the fucking ropes. Like it was the weirdest fucking shit I've ever seen before. But that's why I fucking love Terry Funk. And then he's out there giving himself CTE, fucking just hitting himself with a chair. Right in front of Muhammad Ali, which is real fucking weird in hindsight right now.
He probably called him boy in there somewhere.
Yeah, dude, just all kinds of just weird stuff. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this tag match, Lauren?
How many guys are you putting in your armpit? Today.
That was, well, there's still time left, so
Oh.
let's not. Let's not be too hasty. Sat on his face, shoved him in his armpit.
Pay extra for that where I come from.
Why was he hitting himself in the face with a chair?
Because he's middle-aged and crazy.
Yeah, to show he's crazy. He's Terry fucking Funk.
Big blonde hair lady was in it. She was hilarious. I don't know if you guys caught the commentators gave the worst Beavis and Butt impression ever. It's like Woody the Woodpecker. It was...
What was the line? Did you catch that, or you're just like, oh, these assholes?
They were terrible, though. Ha ha ha. So we did the impression. It was awful. That's all I had. Oh, and they were fighting their own teammates. So that was interesting. They're like beating. You remember that?
The Nasty Boys were fighting each other. Yeah, they're weird.
Yeah, especially weird when Jerry Sags gives a pile driver onto a pumpkin.
Almost kills a man.
Yeah, that was nice. That was a nice touch. I was glad there was some Halloween decorations.
Glad they brought it around full circle for the holiday.
Which now I feel more connected to Terry Funk now because he almost died on a Jerry Sags pile driver, much like I almost died on a Jerry Sags.
Bitter much, Jake?
Yeah, a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that one of the most dangerous moves, pile driver?
It is if a guy just refuses to fall to his butt, and just jerks you straight down. Yeah.
Protect your head, brother.
Just because he just doesn't want to fall on his butt. Now, granted, my tag team partner, the person I was working with, was supposed to be in a certain place, and he was not there. That had something to do with it as well. So I have two people to be mad at.
Yeah.
Because of one match. So that's nice. But,
you want to shit on him here too?
No, that's all right. He still pays me.
All right.
I don't get a dime from Jerry Sags.
Okay, I'm in. I know what we're talking about.
I barely got a thank you to be real, or I'm sorry,
We definitely were getting an I'm sorry.
Yeah. I got a little bit of one. He was sorry about something else in the match, not about the part where he almost killed me. So I think.
Sorry, I forgot that thing, buddy. What, you mean falling on your butt? No, not that part.
So yeah, not that part. Not that part. But overall, fun mellow match. But Heenan said without even the main event, this is the greatest pay-per-view you've ever seen. This moment in time, I can't argue. Can't argue. This is
the best Halloween themed pay-per-view I've ever seen.
For sure. And then we get Muhammad Ali in the ring, where Bill Shaw calls him a wrestler. But Bischoff is there, luckily, to actually put some coherent thought together. He reads a plaque that he does not give to Muhammad Ali. But Muhammad Ali sure as fuck got that check, though.
Oh, yeah.
For his foundation. Yeah, just put it right there. And then it's that plaque. You can hang on that plaque for all I want. So.
Whatever you want. You have that plaque.
Yep. And this is where we get into the whole build-up with the retirement angle for the cage match, which I don't know. Were you buying you don't know the outcome of this. Were you buying the retirement angle? Because they push it the entire show.
I thought it was, if you lose, you have to retire. That's, which they've both. I know that they've both.
But you as an outsider, you don't know if either one of these men retired after this match or not.
Right.
Did you buy that as an angle? Like, okay, one of these men are going to retire. Did you buy into that? Did that heighten your interest in the main event at all?
I think it did, because they had more to lose, and they'd be forced into retirement by not winning.
Okay.
I think so.
Because it's weird for me watching it, and as much as they're pushing it, I don't fucking buy it at all.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't hope you would now. You don't think you would have at that time? If you put yourself how you were in '94.
How old were you?
I would have. I think I bought it at the time.
You bought it at the time?
I think I would have.
I don't, because that's the thing. I'm seeing it with all 2020, and when I mean 2020, both these men wrestled for another 20 years.
Yeah,
that's what I mean by 2020. Because that's the thing. These men had a full career even after this, so it's just neither one of these guys retired, and Flair was actually wrestling at the next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So it's just...
Well, they didn't even end that way, so...
Yeah.
They had their little schmoz bullshit.
Yeah. So...
But I mean, at the time, in '94, I probably did. I was 10 years old, but I was like, yeah, this is fucking happening.
Yeah.
We're not going to see one of these guys ever again.
But we did. Yeah. But we got to see this match first.
Still do.
Career versus career cage match. The Nature Boy, Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan with special guest referee, Mr. T. Or, as I like to say, Mr. Not Interested to be there. He's merely just getting a payoff here. We see Brutus the Barber Beefcake almost trip on his way out there with Hulk Hogan. And then the cage gets lowered down and almost kills one of the cameramen in the process. So, yeah. Mr. T gets beat up multiple times, and I think he sells more in this match than he did at WrestleMania 1. But
we are 10 years removed.
We are 10 years removed. This match has all kinds of craziness to it.
Yeah. The best part of the match is not even in the match. It's like everything after the match.
Oh, yeah. But, Lauren, what were your thoughts on this match? You have a lot of notes.
Holy shit, sweetie.
This was very exciting to me.
I want to hear everything about this because you were buying this angle, this possible retirement of both these men. What were your thoughts on this match specifically?
Okay. The Mr. T shoved the Hulk. So I thought that Mr. T was leaning towards Ric Flair the whole time. Mm-hmm. But then, like, in the middle, he switched and actually became
a
relatively fair, but
he wants to be a Hulkman.
Yeah.
More on
him and Dave Sullivan.
Mm-hmm. Flair got his crotch on the rope twice. That looked uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that Ric Flair had broken his back previously.
Yeah, plane crash.
That was fascinating.
Actually, a decade or so before.
Yeah.
Actually, 2 decades because it was in the 70s.
Mm-hmm. Really happened though.
Yeah.
So people died that day.
What else? I've got a lot of notes here, but some of them aren't really all that romantic. Oh my gosh! Sherri climbed into the ring over the steel cage, and the guy tried to get
Jimmy
her down
Hart.
and took her clothes off.
Pulled her pants.
She went in there anyway, and then Hulk did not stop. He beat the shit out of her.
Mm-hmm.
He did not stop. Like, even the whole "don't hit a girl," no.
Didn't even question it. Didn't
He
even
just
go.
Went with it, and the crowd loved it.
Detroit's piece of shit, man. They don't have
now the question
water.
is, did you love it? Did you see this as a super feminist?
Yeah, we're like,
thing?
yeah, bitch, that's what you
Was
get.
this like a girl power thing? Like the fact that she could get in there and mix it up with Hulk Hogan? Did that empower you, or did that trouble you?
Still pissed about her dancing to no music, so I was not mad at all.
This bitch deserves this.
I was not mad at all. She looked good in that outfit. She did her job.
Go Hawks.
Nick, go
Hawks.
Go Clones.
Yeah. I think actually my neighbors just had a baby. I think when Hogan clotheslined both of them, Sherri and Flair at the same time, I think that I woke up their baby. It was.
Were you sleeping on their couch?
No, just through the wall. I have it's townhouse. It did not disappoint. It was an excellent match.
I think she is the best worker on this entire card. She is such a good wrestler and like always was, and everything she did in this match was better than anything that night.
In hose and no shoes.
And no shoes. She climbed that fucking cage without shoes on.
Jumped off. Hulk did
Got
fucking
straight
nothing.
up, pulled the fuck down, climbed right back up.
Fucking like just bumping her ass off in basically fucking lingerie. Just
not
like
one nipple out.
Fucking champ. And this is why she is a hero to every female wrestler out there. Like, you can do all this to me, I'm still gonna fucking work circles or I'm the fucking best in the business. I'm working and bumping so hard that Ric Flair's like, I gotta up my fucking game. Like,
they both do.
Yeah.
Her taking that big boot where she just fucking tree timbered.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of like taking a normal safe bump, just fucking timbers. Oh, so good.
Love her. Wish she was still fucking here today.
I'd give just about everybody on this pay-per-view to have her back.
Yeah. For
She's
sure.
Too.
Yeah, I would trade a couple people out.
Yeah. Some of you guys are getting drafted.
A couple of nasty boys on a bunkhouse buck just to get sensational Sherri back. Yeah. If we're talking about trading cards, that's what I would do. I want it. So
yeah, she's amazing.
Oh,
she makes this whole fucking thing.
She was amazing. She really was.
I didn't mind sitting through half an hour just to get this like 10 minutes of stuff.
Yeah. But it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let's not be honest. That's part of the reason why we're discussing is how fucking absurd this
Yes.
whole fucking thing is. Like, Hulk doesn't just beat Nature Boy Ric Flair. He has to beat Sensational Sherri.
He beats up a woman straight up.
Yeah, he has to fucking, like, contend with the fact that Mr. T is kind of out but kind of looking in the match but kind of not. Like, he's got to direct all this fucking traffic right now. And, yeah. So, anything else about the specific match? We'll get into the after the match stuff right now if we don't get anything else.
No, that's the time for the reason for the season.
Okay, so the end of the match. Oh, also too, Masked Man comes out from underneath the ring.
Yeah, and puts the pole,
the pipe
over the ringside, and they just give him the whip into it. Right? I don't know how that's any different than the actual cage.
Yeah, I don't know either.
He's been hitting it the whole time. But he needed to come out so he could be seen as being under there all night. They had to make that a point. They'd been under there all night.
Yeah.
and then do that, and then get sent to the back so they could bring out the reveal. So that motherfucker didn't have to be under that ring all night.
Exactly, because we all know that Brutus the fucking Barber Beefcake wasn't going to be underneath that ring the whole time.
Nope.
So yeah,
not Big Brother Brudi.
Yeah, but that's the fucked up thing. So like, you saw Brutus come out.
Yeah.
You saw him come out with Hulk.
Yeah.
And then he left.
Mm-hmm.
And then this guy comes out from underneath the ring.
Yes. Who had to have been there all night.
Had to be there all night. And then we're supposed to believe that is the same guy. Or are we to believe that, they had two like they had before?
Yeah, I think it would be more that.
But why does a guy have to be underneath the ring? Because then you clearly have to have two.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I think you just add an extra step just to purposely make it fucking confusing for no goddamn reason. Yeah. Why can't the Masked Man come in from the back and stay out there? Like, after the fucking match and all that shit is over, he pops back in. Hulk's like, who is it? And it turns out, it's fucking Brutus.
This dumbass the whole time. It's soon to be Zodiac.
Yeah, like, I don't know why it has to be so complicated. Yeah. It's fucking pro wrestling.
I don't know why you get so goddamn mad. It's pro wrestling.
No, you just fucking added that in there just to fucking be confusing.
Oh yeah,
and you just added that in there so Brutus didn't have to be out of the ring the whole time.
Yeah.
And you could have just had him
be in the back the whole time.
Just be in the back, come back for the certain time, figure out some reason for him to be fucking back, like have some baby faces fight him to the back, or have Sting chase him off, and then he comes back later.
Yeah.
Like he got the better of Sting.
So you just feel real bad for that guy that had to stay to that ring.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it was probably fucking
probably Brian Armstrong just having to land there.
Probably was Brian Armstrong, to be really quite honest. Sure wasn't Booker T, I know that much.
But this was a hockey arena too. Is there any way there could have been access underneath?
See, as a kid, I used to think that all the time too, but
no
concrete floor.
I know they kind of like lower. Okay.
Yeah, they wouldn't have anything like that. What are your thoughts on that? Are you as mad as I am, Lauren?
Guy wasn't in a union, that's for sure.
No. As mad as I am, Lauren? Because I'm fucking fuming right now.
Not as mad as you.
Okay.
Completely neutral in the situation, really.
Okay. And then John Tenta makes his debut, I guess.
Is that his debut?
I don't know. I think it is.
Okay.
I think this is when he first comes over.
Okay, cool.
I think this is...
Earthquake?
Yep. Avalanche.
Avalanche.
They don't own...
They don't really. That's the other one.
They don't own earthquakes. They own avalanches.
With Kevin Sullivan and now Big Brother Brudi.
Yep. And then Sting makes a save.
Looking like Jose Canseco.
Yep. And then fucking Brutai fucking begs off. Like he's like begging off, like he attacked and then he's begging off. And even when they're beating up Hulk, he's still begging off. Like Hulk is on the ground getting his ass kicked, and he's like, "No, Hulk, don't beat me up." Like, how fucking high are you right now,
real
Brutus?
High.
Like how? What is your end game here?
Steel cage high.
Yeah. So, any other thoughts about this paper?
Did we talk about the black dude that did the interview? That he looked like maybe been a basketball player or something, but they were like, "So you're some sports
Thomas
guy.
the Hitman Hearns?"
Yeah, maybe. What do you think about so and so? Yeah. He sounds so fucking drunk. And
Thomas
just
the Hitman Hearns, probably.
Yeah.
Reading a cue card.
It made it kind of like, but he didn't know how to read. But he was also dyslexic almost.
I don't know. Well, I mean, he was an ex-boxer, so he might
he might have had a little bit of the shakes too.
Yeah, a little punchy there.
It was. Yeah, Ric Flair is there,
and they all in pro wrestling promotions have always gone out of their way to use Thomas the Hitman Hearn, especially WWF and Hitman versus Hitman.
Yeah,
they'd always use Thomas the Hitman Hearns. And I know very little about Thomas the Hitman Hearns, other than the fact that he was always on wrestling shows.
Pay-per-views all the time.
That's all I know. I know nothing about him.
He may very well been an old wrestler.
I know nothing about him fighting Sugar Ray Leonard because I know more about him being on wrestling shows.
His wrestling.
That's his claim to fame with me.
Yeah.
So. Anything else, Lauren?
I think that cage match was super exciting and made the whole 2 hours and 42 minutes worth it.
So you were happy with what you saw today?
I was pleased. Yes,
please.
Are you going to become a female wrestler now because of it?
No, but
just so you can wear this lingerie and whatnot.
I'm gonna look up the promos.
There you go.
I will look up.
Well, I would.
We look up her promos too. She was great.
Yeah, you need to look up Sensational Sherri promos. Put that at the top of your fucking list.
Yeah.
You can put all the rest of it. Like you put Dick's second, obviously, because that's gonna be the most exciting of it, and then Ric Flair promos. But definitely put Sensational Sherri at the top of the rung, especially anything she did with Macho Man. Katie, bar the fucking door. Zane, do you like this? Do we like the week?
Oh yeah, we like this.
Yeah, we like this.
We liked it.
Yeah, and I think that we're just gonna make that like a regular thing. We're gonna do Halloween Havoc.
We did it before where we liked what we've seen. Like when we did Backlash not too long ago, we were entertained.
Yeah,
we're not shitting on everybody.
Yeah, I think we just this time of year where you have annual events. Maybe November we do a Survivor Series that was so, and then we go from there, and then we get somebody's opinion on it. We can branch out. This podcast can be so much more.
We've really just been pigeonholing it for 2 years.
Yeah, I think it'd be so much more. Maybe get some stuff that's a little a little weird and interesting. And as outlandish as this was, it was fun to watch. And we had a non-wrestling fan's perspective on some things, mostly about pro wrestlers' dicks and what they do with them during wrestling.
You guys spent 5 minutes on that. I asked about one question. And
you put the tip in. We had to talk about Shaq.
Yeah, exactly. And you took a whole bunch of notes on it.
Yeah.
While we were talking. Let's be honest.
Look
at all these notes that you've taken. These notes, just everywhere.
It just says Arn Anderson dick over and over. It's real.
No, that's my notebook.
No,
that's my notebook.
Sorry.
That's my notebook.
I thought yours said Dustin Rhodes' dick. It says both.
No,
Dustin and Arn dick.
No,
But anyways, Lauren, you have a live microphone in front of you right now. This comes out not this Thursday, but the Thursday after. Is there anything coming up that you want to let people know about? Do you have a future podcast where you talk about your love for Sensational Sherri that you're going to start?
In comedy.
In comedy, whatever.
Comedy meditation and Sensational Sherri stories.
Since last time I was here, I have a Twitter account.
Oh, very good.
I have 100 people who theoretically follow me, including Jake Manning, Man Scout Manning. My Twitter handle is...
I follow you, but I'm not going to anymore. I'll follow you when the fuck was over.
Oh, my bad. Well, I've tagged you in something and you didn't like it.
I don't know about that.
It happened today.
I like everything.
So.
I just stalk your page.
So I'm on Twitter, at Lauren S. Ansley, and as far as upcoming shows, I'm going to be performing. Are you doing the Ultimate Comic Challenge at the Idiot Box?
No, I missed the deadline on that one.
I signed up for that, and then I've actually hosted 2 local fundraisers recently, and I'm doing another one.
I know you did the Kitty Cabaret one. They turned me down, so
awesome.
I'm glad you got it because at least somebody nice got it.
I thought you said she turned you down for it. I'm like, you couldn't even let him get on your show?
Yeah, I got you on mine.
And big shout out to Jake Manning for having me on the podcast again, and Zane.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
And also,
forget me again.
Because Jake and I were both just in the Queen City Comedy Experience, which was awesome.
Yes.
It was a 4-day festival in Uptown Charlotte at Spirit Square with Blumenthal and the Comedy Zone helped put that on. And Jake was on stage at the 4 o'clock happy hour show and mentioned that he doesn't drink alcohol and he had 2 free drink tickets. And I said, then give them to me. And he gave me one of his drink tickets. So
what do you do with that other one?
Thank you so much. I don't know.
I gave it to JD because he was hosting and I felt bad for him. See? I do good things.
You're a nice guy.
I'm a nice guy.
I appreciate it.
You good things happen to
I don't put poison in my body, but if my friends want to put poison in their body, go right ahead. Have at it.
Did you say boys or poison?
Poison.
Okay.
If you want to put boys in your body, go right ahead.
I don't put boys in my body, but if you want some poison in yours, how you doing? Finger guns, winky time.
And then the factory, you're doing the factory open mic, right?
Yeah, that'll be tomorrow.
Okay, so after.
Yeah, it would happen the Thursday before this came out.
Today, tomorrow, or podcast tomorrow?
Today.
Okay.
And quick little shout out, I may be hosting trivia once a week, so I'm actually to be determined.
Okay.
Somewhere in Charlotte, but Trivia Attainment is a new company in this area. They're out of Raleigh and they're doing a lot of trivia. Peculiar Rabbit's now having trivia. Once a week, Jackalope Jacks, and I'm looking at a new venue. Okay. Hopefully starting next week.
So what's the Twitter again for you?
At Lauren S. Ansley.
Okay. Make sure you guys, if you want to send her recommendations for Ric Flair promos to watch, just go ahead and add her on that.
Yeah.
That's it. You let me know how many people have sent you Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, and Sherri Martel promos.
Don't send her stuff about your dick.
She's gonna look up the dicks on her own. She might need a little help on those other 3.
But what we did was in jest. We feel what you do is in vulgarity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's not cool. You guys won't be.
Nothing bad ever happened on Twitter.
No,
So
never.
we should be fine.
Never.
Yeah. So then, so what you guys want?
Zay, what do you got going on?
I don't even know what the fuck this is, man.
This is, like I said, not this upcoming Thursday, but the next Thursday.
Probably not much. I think I'm just going to get real drunk at the Renaissance Festival every weekend.
Again?
Oh, yeah, brother. I've already got it.
All October and November, right?
Oh, yeah. You can find me at, I don't know, tomorrow night being podcast tomorrow, I might go down to South Carolina with George South and Caleb Conley to wrestle at a haunted house.
Okay.
Like one that you would go to, not like this place is haunted and we should go on ghost adventures. Going to that. I will be at PWF in Hubert, North Carolina on October 19th. And then the aforementioned to be talked about in the future Spooky Empire horror convention.
Okay. If you're listening to this in a timely fashion, like the day it comes out, October the 12th, I will be running my first show at VizArt Video.
That's right.
Jokesploitation. Make sure you come out for that. And then this upcoming Saturday, I'll be opening up for Carlos Valencia at Bonkers in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And then this Sunday, I will be hosting for JJ Jimmy Walker in Salisbury, North Carolina. And then the 19th, I'll be at Freelance Wrestling. Then the 20th, I'll be at Wrestling Revolver in Des Moines, Iowa. Then the 21st, I will be at NGW in Newport, Tennessee. Then the Tuesday after that, which I believe is the 23rd, I'll be wrestling in Jeffersonville, Indiana. So I got a whole loop of stuff coming up. That's why we're recording this one and the next one super early. The next podcast, we are discussing See No Evil. Let's just go ahead and put out there. Go ahead, See No Evil. Go ahead and watch the Kane starring vehicle. Kane.
That's my favorite. He's my favorite.
Why don't we should have had you?
Hold on, guys.
I told you that last time.
You like Kane? Like
yes.
How do you know about Kane over other people?
He's the only one I know.
She's entrenched in the Knoxville County politics. All right. So that's how she knows the mayor of Knoxville County.
All right, well, so you go home and you watch this movie, See No Evil, and then we'll let you do a little 5-minute rundown, independent, and we'll tag it on ours.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah. We had to pay $2.99 and $1.09 for it.
Yeah, how about you just watch the movie that's got Kane in it and then listen to the podcast?
I didn't know he was in a movie.
He was in a movie.
He was in a sequel to that movie as well, called See No Evil 2.
Yeah.
Speak No Evil. Man, that'd been real cool if that was. Yeah. See No Evil 2. Speak No Evil.
Well, maybe.
Does he talk in the movie?
He talked in the first one, so yeah.
Maybe.
Like a little bit.
Just
he
throw.
Kind of jerks off too, but
maybe I pitch it. Maybe I pitch this. Maybe a year from now, when we start doing a scary topic again,
we
bring her back for See No Evil 2.
What?
Maybe we put that out there, make that happen.
And then break up the Zane and Jake Talk Pop Culture.
Yeah.
We'll bring a broad in and another comedian. You're not just a broad.
Then it'd be a broadcast.
Broadcast, podcast, cast. What was that thing?
Castbox.
Castbox. Broadcast box.
But we are also available on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, SoundCloud. Make sure you leave a review so you can get a free t-shirt. This has been another edition of How Did This Get Booked?
Woo.